like we got paid bank. Like I was making 6 figures as a 21-year-old.
You're loving life.
Yeah, you're like, dude, I'm on top of the world. I got promoted to basically become running marketing because as I was a controller on my second shift, as a controller, what the hell do I do? Like I finished the accounting, I finished all the accounting, but I was always asked a lot of questions. I'd be like, wait, I saw this come up in the accounting books. Like, why are you spending this again? And I keep asking Arvin and he'd be like, you know what? At this point, just come at the night shift and like come and ask me questions. And he liked it because it made him think more instead of spending. So then all my questions turned into
That's the way to do it. Keep it lean.
We kept it lean and we literally could cover everything.
Yeah, you had all parts.
Parts of it, right? It was like a factory. So, and then Flex Pro Meals, which is one of our largest clients. We got them from forming a virtual line. Yeah, on our website, right? To buy collagen. So the only cool part about this is they're staying awake to buy something healthy for themselves.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's
right?
a good thing, yeah.
But like it was insane. It was blowing our mind because like we'd drop like on December peppermint mocha. Welcome to episode 21 of New Money Talks.
Yeah,
This is gonna be a good one. We got a good one on the ropes right now.
Yep. So we got Ron Shah, another New Jersey native. We've been getting a lot of New Jersey natives.
A lot of people in Jersey.
Founder of Obvi, and also a podcast called Chew on This DTC. So competitor of ours.
Direct competitor.
Just
put the link.
just from our like kind of pre-podcast conversations, we've learned a ton. So I'm sure this is going to be a really, really jam-packed, value-based episode. So I'm very, very excited for it. But I don't know if you have like what happens when someone comes up to you at a party with your friends and it's just someone who's never met you and they're just like, so what do you do for work?
Yeah, who the hell is Ron Shah?
What do you say?
What do you say?
It's interesting because I usually start with like, so I run a women's collagen brand. It's like they're trying to be like, oh wow, like, but they're completely judging me, right? And you're just like, okay. But no, I think you kind of have to start it off in like the most, not that like humility is not involved, but like you have to be in a humble format. It's like I run a online women's collagen brand and been running it for about 4 years almost. And prior to that, I was an accountant, right? And I was an accounting major. So I like try to put that in their preference of them. It's like, hey, listen, like I'm not just somebody who's been running a ecom business. Like I started with a very different structure in mind. So then that usually is a good icebreaker. It's like, oh, really? You were an accountant, right? And then like 100%. From there, it's interesting.
So we got Ron Shah, the accountant, but also founder of Obvi. I think a lot of us are curious, how in the hell did you get into this e-commerce world? Because I think a lot of people who are watching this are in the D2C space, a lot of drop shippers, but also D2C guys. And they always see you, like you're big on Twitter. you're the guy on Twitter. you're one of the Twitter D2C
don't tell Nick
guys.
Sharma.
Don't tell Nick Sharma. Shout out Nick Sharma.
It's actually a pretty crazy story. So New Jersey native, you guys will probably appreciate the story. Back in so I graduated college in 2013, Pace University. And myself and my roommate at that time in Pace, we moved out and moved to Jersey City.
Nice.
Okay. Couldn't afford New York anymore. I was working at Deloitte, being an accountant, and he was a designer working at this like hype brand or whatever. And we were living in a building called the Beacon, which in Jersey City is like the old hospital. Okay. Yeah. So we're living there, and one day he hops in, my roommate hops in the elevator, going to work. Kid Robot, that's the company he used to work at. Anyway, so he hops in the elevator, and this guy named Ankur Garg, he's in the elevator and he goes, hey, what do you do? Just kind of small talk. Ankit's like, I'm a designer. And he's like, oh, well, I run a company. It's actually on the penthouse here. It's called Shreds.
Oh, gotcha.
And Shreds, for the people who know Arvin Lal from Jersey Shore show and a few other things, right? Shreds was one of the fastest growing supplement brands back in 2013, 2014, and 2015. So Uncle goes, oh, well, I'm not really looking for anything. He's a shy coming out of college. But Uncle's like, you know what? I'll hop by your apartment later on. We can let me see some of your skills, right? So later on that night, Uncle comes back to our apartment. We're living in the basement floor, like the cheapest floor.
He's in the penthouse.
He's in the penthouse. We're living in the basement floor. And because it was an old hospital, we were in the morgue building. Okay. And that's so like imagine, and we had some crazy crazy stories of shit we saw. But anyway, Uncle comes back later that night to our apartment. And by the way, he's one of the co-founders of Shreds. And he comes back and Uncle's like showing him some styles and stuff. He's like, all right, cool. Why don't you do some freelance work for us? Uncle's like, all right, cool. Starts working with them. A few weeks go by. I see Uncle starting to spend some time in the penthouse, this and that. I'm like, all right, what's going on here, right? He gets a full-time job offer to become their lead graphic designer. All right. And mind you, he's 21 at this point, right? The offer he gets, I think it's like $70K. Right. And it's like, damn, this is good money. And this is pre-inflation days, that's like good money.
That's good money.
It's like 6 figures.
Yeah. and I'm like, damn, dude, this guy went to design school and I'm here like hustling.
On his accountant.
Accountant. Like he's making just as much as me. So I'm like, all right, cool. And then I run into the CFO of the company in the elevator probably like 2 months later. Okay. Gotcha. His name was Sean Dua. And Sean Dua, he's also a Jersey guy. And he was the CFO of Shreds. And he goes, hey, you're Uncle's roommate, right? By the way, if you're ever looking for a new role, I'm looking for a controller. Controller is the equivalent of an accounting position in a startup. So I was like, I don't know, this and that. And my dad, he's an accountant too.
Okay.
He's been at Ernst & Young for the last like 30 years. He's a CFO there. So he's always kept me very grounded about it. So I tell my dad, I'm like, listen, I got an opportunity to become a controller somewhere. It's a startup. And he's like, I got to meet the founders. So
your dad said that.
Yeah. So
Jeez,
and he's like, if you're gonna leave accounting to go work for a startup,
I gotta meet the guy.
I gotta meet the guys.
Damn.
So he comes in probably 2 days later to Jersey City, comes to the penthouse, meets the founders. He says, if my son takes this risk, you better take care of him. They give me a job offer to become a controller. And now me and my roommate are working at Shreds. We joined the company, and long story short, we were there for almost 3 years. And we built, at that point, we almost got up to $100 million in revenue. We incubated 2 other brands called Flavor God, which was a seasoning company, and Skinny.com, which we owned, which was a weight loss tea company.
Oh, shoot.
So Shred, Skinny, and Flavor God are the 3 brands we worked on. I was Arvin's right-hand man, and Ankit was Ankur's left-hand man.
This was like Facebook heyday.
Yes. Yeah. Well, this was actually even pre-Facebook. This was when you would post on Instagram, and whoever would post the most recent would be what's first on your feed.
Oh, I see.
Chronological order.
Yeah, chronological order, right?
On the podcast.
Exactly.
Yep.
So what Arvin had done, he was a mastermind in this. He had created Shreds Women, Shreds for Women. He had created over 30 accounts and farming. He had 30 phones.
Jeez.
Okay. Wow. And we were a posting schedule. We would be posting like everything was 15 minutes apart.
Damn.
Every account, every post, every graphic, to a point where people were like, dude, I don't even know why I see Shreds everywhere, but it's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Right. And we had a really insane work culture. So this is where my work ethic, I think, came from. You were required to work there 9 to 6. Okay. You get to go home and shower. Almost 90% of the company lived in the building. So if you didn't live in the building, they moved you into the building, paid your rent. Okay. So you go home, so 9 to 6, then you go home, shower, spend some time with, if you have a significant other, or you eat dinner. Most people worked out because they were like fitness company. You come back around 9 p.m.
Oh, they make you come back to work.
Yeah, you come back at 9 p.m. and you work till 2 a.m. 6 days a week. Your only day off was Saturday.
Sounds like a bank.
Wow.
So
that's crazy.
It was insane. But what I will say is not one person was forced to do it. Everyone wanted to do it. Imagine the Wolf of Wall Street for supplements. So we were like all fired. Like we didn't even know another world existed outside of this. Our best friends worked there. Our bosses worked there. Our wives or girlfriends knew we were doing this. Like this was the exit, right? So like we worked those hours, we got paid bank. Like I was making 6 figures as a 21-year-old.
You're loving life.
Yeah, you're like, dude, I'm on top of the world. I got promoted to basically become running marketing because as I was a controller on my second shift, as a controller, what the hell do I do? Like I finished the accounting, I finished all the accounting, but I was always asked a lot of questions. I'd be like, wait, I saw this come up in the accounting books. Like, why are you spending this again? And I keep asking Arvin and he'd be like, you know what? At this point, just come at the night shift and like come and ask me questions. And he liked it because it made him think more instead of spending. So then all my questions turned into, all right, now I'm learning marketing, right? And I'm enjoying it. So then after year 2, I was running the entire marketing department under Arvin.
So from accounting to marketing.
Accounting and marketing, quick. That was my shift. It was because of the night shift.
The night shift.
Yeah, the night shift taught me marketing. So I was fully self-learned. I never took a marketing class or anything. So that was really like the start of startups, work ethic, and like seeing a 9-figure brand grow in front of your eyes.
Literally in your house.
Yeah.
That's
literally
nuts.
Literally.
It's like serendipitous. You just found these guys in the elevator.
Wild.
That's crazy.
It's one thing that we just talked to Dan Snow about is he said like one of my biggest regrets was that I never had the opportunity to work for someone who was doing what I wanted to do.
Yep.
To where I could basically like learn risk-free a lot earlier and like not have to face
and
some
get
like,
paid for it and all that.
Yeah, not have to face some like the failures and the trials and tribulations and looking back, it's really just like an ego game. It's like, oh, do I want to say that I'm an entrepreneur or do I want to go like in the trenches and be humble and work for someone? But like, now when I am ready to launch my brand, it's going to accelerate that process so much more.
And what year was all this happening?
So we started there 2013 and we were there till about 2016.
Okay. And then from there you made Obvi?
No, from there.
He said hell no.
From there, so myself and Ankit, he's my best man, my wedding. He was my best friend in college. We both, and my third partner, Ashwin, which he also worked there. So he's 2 years younger than us. He came over from London. He's my wife's childhood best friend.
Oh, shoot.
So he came over and he's like, yo, whatever you're doing, I see you post about it all the time. I want to come and join it. So I brought him onto our team. He became one of the best paid marketers I've ever seen, right? Wow. And so he was in the shreds thing too. So then me, Ankit, and Ashwin, we basically, at 2016, when you're working 2 shifts a night, 6 days a week for 3 years, you feel like you've been there for 10 years. So after 3 years, we were like, all right, dude, like, I think even though we love this, we need to change because there's got to be more to this, right? When we were making lofty 6 figures, like, and Arvin was so generous, like good bonuses, great stuff. But the company also made some mistakes. Mm-hmm. The company made a lot of mistakes around spending too much on athletes, thinking that they can keep holding value. But what you don't realize is if your influencer doesn't grow, they can only grow you so much.
It's the same audience over and over again.
Same audience over and over again. So when we saw in 2016 that the tides were shifting a little, we basically said, all right, if this doesn't keep going the way it is, what do we want to do next? So from there, we said, what if we took everything we learned here? Ankit knows design and branding, Ash knows paid marketing, and I know finance and ops. Technically speaking, us 3 had the entire fundamental coverage that you need for a company.
For sure.
So we said, starting a brand would be great, right? And we were like, but what if we could actually keep learning still? So what we did was we started a marketing agency. Okay. And it was called Ghost 3 Media. Okay. And the concept was we're not really going to tell anyone we're doing this, but we're really doing this because we want to keep learning. So it was called Ghost because we're like,
Ghost. No one sees us.
No one sees us. So it was childish.
Behind the shadows.
Yeah. And then we put in 3 because it's just the 3 of us. So anyway, so we started this agency and we're like, all right, why don't we work with a couple of people and we're going to start our own brand quickly, but let's go see if we can like keep learning a little bit more. We got a couple of clients. Our first client was actually Venus of Floor, which is a luxury flower company.
They're from Jersey too, right?
They're from Jersey, yeah. Sunny and
Jersey City, right?
Yeah. Well, they were they now live in Cali, but they lived in Edgewater.
Edgewater, got you.
Yeah. In
That's
the Pearl.
a big brand.
In the Pearl.
Damn.
Yeah.
Small world, shit.
Yeah,
Jersey got some people.
Yeah, man. Jersey's got some real
like
some
Bergen County,
some serious warriors, man.
Yeah.
Like innovative warriors, you know.
Seriously.
So there was one of our first clients. Started scaling them. This was like way before they even like were like a thing. Like we were like one of their first marketers. Scaled them really fast. From there, another client that we did was Booty Belt. It was Kate Hudson's training system.
Interesting.
And then we did another brand called Sparta Nutrition, which was a pretty large supplement brand. Aloha, Hooked on Phonics, and a few other brands.
So you had some good names on you.
With some good names.
Yeah.
And what we were is we actually never had a single employee in our agency. It was just the three of us.
The three ghosts.
Just three ghosts.
That's the way to do it. Keep it lean.
We kept it lean, and we literally could cover everything.
Yeah, you had all parts of it.
All parts of it, right? It was like a factory. So, and then Flex Pro Meals, which is that was one of our largest clients. We got them from about 6-7 figures to almost deep 8 figures. And that was all Usher's work. Like he was an insane paid marketer. So anyway, we ran that agency for 3 years. Big names, learned a lot. But the biggest lesson we learned was no matter how much we build for others, they always think they're good enough at some point without you.
And they want to just...
That's it. As soon as our retainers would get to 6 figures, right? Or like when we're billing them, because we were a performance marketing agency. So we said, hey, listen, we'll do all the work, but we want to be part of the growth. We don't want you to just pay us $5,000 and we do everything mediocre.
As we scale this bad boy.
We want it. So as soon as we'd hit like literally 6-figure retainers, that's it. People are like, oh, damn. And I get it. I would be like that too. But what sucks is they quickly forget everywhere you came from, right? You brought some of these companies we brought from $10,000 a month to $1 million a month.
Jeez.
So anyway, we ran that for 3 years. In 2019, we said, okay, we've been working together for so many years. We're best friends. What we've always wanted to do was start our own brand. Let's take everything we've learned from shreds, agency, every piece of we literally had it dialed down to a science, and let's do everything you're supposed to do and make sure we avoid everything you're not supposed to do and build a brand. And that's when we started Obvi.
Damn. So you went through the trenches.
We went through the it's like the reason I won't say trenches is I think in each scenario, we lived really well.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Do you know what I mean? It was like, but we worked really hard.
Yeah.
Like even though we started making 6 figures really early in our life, it didn't change the fact that we had nice things, this and that. That didn't matter. It was like, it didn't change the fact that we felt like we were done. It was like, okay, this came so easy. Now what you want is so much more than none of this stuff
100%.
You know, even when we talk about the sponsorship podcast stuff, it's it's cool, but it's you've seen that and it's all right, now what do I really how do you get the next one?
Whale. The whale.
There's always a whale.
The whale.
The whale. Yeah.
Damn. I don't even know where to go with that after this. Yeah.
There's a lot of places we can go. No, that's awesome though. I have a marketing agency as well, and that's one of the big incentives to do that was I actually started in brand building and got to a point where I was decent at that, but I was but I didn't fall in love with the product development process or getting the creatives or the operations. I was just I just like the marketing.
Yeah.
So I want to build a team to where I can take on opportunity as it comes and not be confined. Cause a lot of people, I had built a little, small little personal brand. A lot of younger guys wanted to had a store that was doing 10 or 20K a month. And we're I've seen you do $1 million a month. Can we partner together for a profit share? I'm I don't really do that.
Yeah.
And there's 50 people asking me, I'm I don't have 50 hours in a day. I don't even have I don't have a lot of time. So I'm how can I figure out a way to create a system around it and hire a team and then take on projects as they go? And now, we finally started doing that. But, we also face, and I can ask you about your acquisition methods because I'm fascinated on how that was versus today's acquisition because the marketing space has become so much more competitive. But the first couple clients we brought on were all inbound referrals. And now it's we it's funny because we actually had a couple of sales calls with big supplement brands doing $1 million a month. They're all right, we want to get to $2 million a month. And I'm like, I've scaled one of my own brands, which was like drop shipping, to 2 million a month. I'm like, if you're already at 1 million, like that's our bread and butter. Like we'll take you to 2, but it's just like, but we're like, oh, but we don't have a lot of case studies. It's like, it's just my like dinky little 6-figure a month drop shipping stores that did like 400K, 600K, 1.8 million, whatever. And it's like that's all pretty cool, but
yeah, how did you get all these big brands?
Talk to me about the acquisition.
Yeah.
What's up, New Money Talks fam? Quick one for our sponsors over at Limitless Financial Solution. James Jang and his team have helped over 1,000 people fix their credit or acquire the necessary business funding that they needed to be able to deploy that into passive income streams. And so if you are a business owner looking to fix your credit or acquire business funding of any kind, definitely make sure to check the link below this video and make sure that when you reach out to James, you mention that New Money Talks sent you so you can get that New Money Talks discount. James has helped over 1,000 people fix their credit or acquire funding, and cumulatively, he has helped his clients generate over 15 million in business funding. So if you need funding or you need credit fixing, James is your guy at Limitless Financial Solutions. So check out that link, mention that New Money Talk sent you. Back to the podcast.
So I think for us, what our past of being at Shreds and Skinny and Flavor God, I can't lie to you. Like that is, it's like right now when we're doing our podcast, right? What helps us is what we've built. I think when you've built something that had a little bit of like widespread notoriety, it instantly attaches itself to you, right? And even if like you had a lot to do with it or you didn't, I think it's how you use it, right? So I think it's like, it's definitely tougher for where you build weren't technically brands, they were products, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's like tougher to be attached to a product because people are like, I think, I'm really close to the guy who created As Seen on TV, right?
Oh, shit. Okay.
AJ, he's right here in New Jersey. And I think even with him, right, he sometimes has this piece where it's like, he's created so many products, right? And thank God he's known for the As Seen on TV logo, but otherwise, this guy has made 9 figures. He's worth $1 billion, right?
Jeez.
But he would never be remembered for anything because he just created a bunch of cool products.
So no
He's
brand.
never built brand. Yeah. Okay, As Seen on TV luckily became a good brand. But point of what I was saying is I think because we had the power of being affiliated to a brand, that helped. I think some of even the marketers, people who shifted to marketing agencies that have gotten really good acquisition quickly are people who worked at some big brands, right? Even if it's like as a consultant or something, and they said like, hey, I had a hand in building Truff, or I had a hand in building this, that leverage becomes very powerful because people are very short-sighted. They see a name that they know,
a big brand logo,
they'll connect that and say, cool. So back then, we're coming fresh off of Shreds. Like you were, in a way, we were like hot commodity. Because it's like, you want to see 9 figures built in 3 years? There's nobody that's going to be able to show you that.
I've seen the ad accounts.
I've
seen the ad accounts. Exactly. I can do the same thing for you.
That's exactly it, right?
That's
and
crazy.
You got the screenshots, you got the conversations, and you have something to show for it. So that helped. Yeah. Acquisition today, I think it's like, again, you have to have. I don't think you have to have it. You can also just be a really fucking good marketer. But I think it is easier if you're affiliated to some set of success that's affiliated to our brand.
100%.
Yeah.
I want to talk about Obvi now too, because I think that's the next like big step here.
Yeah.
Like, everyone like knows you like about Obvi, right? Obvi.
Yeah.
It's like you said, it's like a woman's
collagen
brand.
Women's
right?
collagen.
What the hell is collagen first?
Yeah,
of all?
thank you. Thanks
That's
for
the first
asking.
big question.
So collagen, a lot of people don't know this, but it's the most abundant protein in your body.
Okay.
So it's actually, imagine like Elmer's glue, okay, that holds your hair, skin, nails, and joints together. Okay? So anytime you're like pinching your cheeks or like pulling your hair, the reason it doesn't just like always come out is actually it's the elasticity is coming from collagen.
Interesting.
Okay? Now, the reason why your hair falls when you get older, or your nails get brittle when you get older, or your skin gets saggy when you get older, or your joints start hurting when you get older, is because your body loses 1% of collagen per year after the age of 25.
Oh, damn.
Okay? So a lot of people like don't realize this until they're like 50, and now a third of their collagen is gone.
Sure.
And that's why do you hear like people in their 60s get knee surgeries? Why do you hear people in their 50s get Botox? Right? Why do people start getting more manicures done?
Because their stuff still starts sagging and everything. Oh, man.
Yeah.
So because we were in the health and wellness space, when we wanted to create a brand, we were like, we don't want to just create another whey protein and pre-workout. There's enough whey proteins and pre-workout.
Yeah, there is.
Right? What problem can we solve that hasn't been solved? Okay. Now, we weren't the first collagen. There's been plenty of collagens out there, but collagen has pretty much been a very boring topic, right? It's like what you just asked me. What the hell is collagen?
It just sounds crazy. Yeah, what the hell is this shit?
Don't know what collagen is, but can you believe it's the most important protein in your body, right? So what we wanted to do was, if we made collagen sexy and pink.
And pink. I was about to say the branding pink. Exactly. Beautiful. Yeah.
Would people care more? And our hypothesis was, if we make it fun, pink, tasty, sexy, all these things, right? We think that collagen consumption will go up. And so that was our hypothesis, and Obvi is trying to prove that through a thesis.
Damn. So and then early on, how'd you like come up? Like, did you raise any money for this in the beginning? Did you take money out of your pocket? Like,
no, we each put in $3,300 each. So
I love it. And what, did you buy one product? Like,
so we bought 2 products, and it was 240 units each.
Jeez, that's a pretty small MOQ right there.
Yeah. It was in NutriCap in Georgia. Their minimum run was actually 128 units.
Damn.
We really balled out and got
balled out.
Yeah, we went double. We said we'll take double on both.
when you were launching this, right? Like, what was your thought process? Like Facebook ads, like influencers, like what were you thinking through?
Our thought process was, we've done this many, many times for many other brands. We're gonna stick to what we know. Build a killer website. At that point, there was no landing pages. Really good website, really good ads, and from day one. Usually people like start a brand, they wait for friends and family to buy, they'll like wait for organic.
Yeah.
We ran ads, like 12:01 at midnight we launched the brand, 12:02 our ads were running.
Makes sense,
like,
spending.
It was instant. So we spent on Facebook.
It's kind of funny, right? Because like I think it's the big thing in like D2C. People who are starting D2C think that like I can just organically get sales. It's like literally it's like Facebook.
Yeah, like
Instagram, Facebook, just buy the ads, cut to the chase.
Like wasting time.
Literally,
in my opinion, unless you have a creator or a good influencer backing the brand, or from day one.
Like 100%. Do both.
Yeah.
So like I have a question. So like, how come you didn't buy like $100,000 worth of inventory? Why did you start with such a small? I think it's genius. Most people should be doing it, but people don't. Like, what was your thought process? Am I testing this? Like, what was the real thought process behind it?
Our thought process was, we're doing something so disruptive, which is, if you look at every collagen, first of all, on the market, it's unflavored. They look pharmaceutical. They're like boring looking. When you do something on the opposite spectrum, even if you have faith in your abilities on how to market it, you can still be at question of like, will anyone want this?
That's true.
Right? Do people want fruity cereal tasting collagen? Do they want Cocoa Puff looking collagen? Like, do they want this? Like it was pretty bizarre what we were doing. So that brought us down to like, okay, let's go test this.
Yep.
And when we looked into it and we said, wait, we can test this for $10,000. Why would we put in $100,000 even though we
exactly? Yeah. Did you test anything else, or was this like the first one?
So we came up with so many different ideas. I remember one of the ideas was, actually we did test something else, but one of the other ideas was Ankit, my partner, he wanted to focus on creating a subscription around just white teas. Okay?
White teas, interesting.
Every 3 months you get 5 new white teas. And at that point it was
like t-shirts or like,
t-shirts.
Oh, I thought like tea, like white tea. I was like, Earl tea, great tea, t-shirts.
He was like, guys wear a lot of white tees.
That's fair.
This and that. They get worn out quickly, right? Let's get cheaper ones that we know are going on anyway. So we were looking into that. We didn't come out with that. The one brand we did test is we created a clothing company called Tunnel, Tunnul. And the concept was we wanted to do kind of like underground clothing that had motivational stuff. So
nice.
Every day you fight, this and that. We did that. Probably spent like $5K on it, but
Obvi makes a lot more sense than that one.
Yeah, that one was like just like a gimmick thing that we did where we realized like, okay, we don't know how to run ads on apparel and this and that, so just start throwing ads.
I think it's good that you bring this stuff up because like people see you online like, oh, this guy's $40 million in whatever years. I know you guys like say all these like crazy like all this stuff, and it's like you failed on shit before, and you started with like 10 racks. You didn't start with like millions of dollars. You know what I mean? So for the average person out there who is like 25, 26, has some stupid accounting job that he wants to quit right now, like it only takes 10 grand and like
a lot of work
and a lot of work. Obviously, a lot of work, a lot of sacrifice, a lot of thought process, and like taking risk, but. Like it doesn't take millions and millions of dollars to kind of find something that works. And even in the landscape right now that we're in like D2C, it's still possible to find that pocket of like a need in the market. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we were 27 and Ash was 25.
There you
when
go.
We started Obvi, you know, like even though we had made some money, it had nothing to do with how you start a business. You know, it's fundamentally starting a business, it has to come down to like, what is your risk propensity? And is it like a really proven out concept? And if it's not, just test it.
100%.
You know, I was listening to this podcast, How I Built This.
Yeah.
And this Guy Raz, and the Chomps founder, the beef sticks. He does something really cool where he actually creates a fake product completely that he wants to bring to market. He'll run
ads on Shopify.
He'll run ads on Shopify. He'll have them landing page, this and that. He'll take orders, okay, just to see what his customer acquisition cost would be on a new product like this. And if people will even buy it, after 7 days, he'll refund everyone.
100%. That's so smart.
He'll refund everyone and he'll say, okay, let's move along with R&D on this product.
That's genius.
Or he'll kill it.
I think even Moise Ali said something like that too.
Oh, did
when
he?
He was starting like native and everything. He was like saying stuff like that. Like I would just like put a landing page up, run ads to it, and like if it worked, great. If it didn't work,
so smart.
You just wasted like I don't know $1,000.
Yeah, a couple grams.
I mean, like I wish we even did that. You know,
100%.
like
you save so much on inventory and samples and all this stuff.
Everything.
And time too. You don't waste like 2 months waiting for the.
Really, the only money you're wasting on is maybe a little bit of content creation.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
Processing fees that you have to refund.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Right. So.
Oh shit! Yeah, exactly. No harm, no foul.
Yeah.
So like from like finalized idea of Obvi to your first order, what does that time window look like?
Yeah. So January we started with like R&D. By March we had figured out the product. April Ankit designed it. May we built the website. June 1st we launched.
Okay. 6 months. 6 months.
Yeah.
Like this guy's getting on my ass for one of my brands in his warehouse, and I'm like, dude, like it takes a couple months to like get things going. I'm like, I'm not drop shipping these things.
Like text. I answer like 3 seconds. I'm like, no, come on.
I'm like, I had to get like 20 different samples of like just our first SKU. I had to get, you know, the logo, the design, the website.
Like a pallet of this stuff in my work for like a month. I'm like, Kyle, like,
I have a whole like influencer and organic like content distribution acquisition system being built out. I'm like, just give me like another month or two. We're gonna be at 6 figures plus a month, you know?
Yeah.
Even my employees are like, yo, what's Kyle doing? Like, get that thing pumping.
They're like, oh, this is e-commerce Kyle. Why isn't he pumping right now? I'm like, it takes time. But a lot of people think like, there's a lot of people right now who are undergoing this transitional phase of like, oh, I used to drop ship. I made some money. Maybe I lost some money. But now I want to build a real brand. But they're like, what does that actually look like? Because it looks intimidating. And it's like, in reality, you just have to like, you have to give it a couple of months from like design, inception, samples, you know, inventory, and like go small in the inventory, but like try to not have that process be like years because you don't even know if the product's going to work.
I think the other big thing to realize is like when you are deciding to build a brand versus build a product, the commitment on the brand side actually all starts in the beginning. And if you like rush anything, whether it's the initial content or the label or any part of that, it will catch up with you. It'll catch up to you very quickly. Like even at Obvi, like there's a couple of like products that we had, like we launched kids protein. Okay. Like probably 6 months into starting the brand. Okay. Because we saw a lot of moms buying our collagen. We said, hey, why don't we also sell products to their kids? Great idea. We were so caught up in the fact that it was a great idea. We rushed
the hell
out of the product. Okay. till this day, I look back and say, if we took an extra 3 to 6 months in perfecting that product launch, we would probably have like something that would be next to Pediasure right now.
Wow.
You know, because we would have double sold the market. If moms are buying collagen, they would buy this for their kids.
For their kids.
Right?
Moms are telling other moms.
Exactly. Moms are the best referral network.
100%.
So when we look back, it's like, even when you're building brands, even if you hit some crazy numbers and stuff, there's so many things you learn across the road that's like, damn, you know?
Jeez. So like June you launched, right?
Yep. June 2019. That's right.
Okay. So then from June to like December, what do we look like?
Yeah, we did about 170K.
Okay.
And our biggest thing is like, because we kept ordering very small amounts. So our first order called 256 units. Our next order was like 1,000. Our next order was like 3,000. And we'd sell through it quickly. And then we would sell out for like 2-3 weeks at a time. Right. And what we noticed when this was on purpose initially, noticed where people were like, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? And we're like, this is pretty cool. Like people are, you know, so by the end of the year, what we projected, we probably would have done like 300, 400K had we been like properly in stock and scaling. We said that's fine, because what happened was we realized, wait, if we sell out of these things ever, they'll build so much hype, because when we do a restock, it would sometimes do as much revenue as a launch.
Damn.
Yeah.
And so we're like, wait, that's a cool way to make double the money on a single SKU.
How do you guys like, I think a lot of people are scared when they go out of stock.
Yeah.
And like people are hyped, like the hype just kind of like dissipates. Like how do you guys like hold it in a sense?
Yeah, so I think the way we do it is we're very authentic with the restock dates.
Oh, so you actually say a day.
Oh, we say it right away. Like, hey, this is coming back this date, okay? We're going to do a limited restock just for VIP people if you sign up this or get our app or this or that. And then we follow that. Like, we only give it to some people for certain days.
Interesting.
And because there's so much authenticity there, people trusted. And so it didn't dissipate, because it wasn't like, damn, these people just came out with one product once and then barely ever heard from them again. We'd even update them via email and text and be like, hey, listen, it's coming soon. Get ready if you haven't signed up.
What apps are you guys using for that?
We're using, I love it. We're using TapCard for our app.
TapCard.
We're using Postscript for text, and then Klaviyo for email.
100%. Yeah. I just have to ask that.
You had to, of course. Yeah. I love all three of them.
Value for everyone on like literally like these are like just easy ways to just add like LTV, like lower CAC, like the whole nine on these things. You know what I mean?
Easy money.
Yeah, easy money stuff. Like just literally plug in apps on Shopify.
Yeah.
Got you. And during those first 6 months, were you guys profitable?
Yeah, we're profitable. We did about 10% profit.
How the hell did you pull that off?
So it's just the three of us. We never hired anyone. So we had no overhead.
Okay.
We were not taking any money at this time. And then we were not in an office. So our only costs were inventory and marketing.
And Facebook.
And Facebook. Like, marketing spend and inventory.
So pretty much your CAC was lower than like your LT, like your AOV. In a sense. Not even LTV, your AOV.
AOV, yeah. Our CAC at that time was like probably like $28-$30. LTV was sitting at 70.
Yeah.
So we were first order profitable. And then I think what was really good too is we started building a community. So retention was really strong.
How'd you build the community? What'd you do?
We created a Facebook group.
Yep.
And I think till this day, it's the best place to create a community. Even if you're like Gen Z or lower level millennial, Facebook is still the best. Like we still go to Facebook for Shopify Plus groups or these groups. Like they're gonna be there because it's the best forum.
Funny enough, like back when I was running a brand too, I saw a brand, I don't know if you know, Schoolyard Snacks.
Yeah.
They had a really...
I know Helen really well.
Helen, really killer like Facebook group.
Yep.
And I had read the book. What book did I read? It's like how to get to like $1 million a year, something like that. And it's all about like using influencers to get to there.
Yeah.
And it was all about like building community with Facebook groups. And then I spoke to Helen and she was like, yeah, you got to make a Facebook group. It's like the best thing in the world.
It is.
And then we even like did on top of that, we made like a YouTube channel that was only like exclusively for like the Facebook group and stuff like that.
Yep.
And just like you said, builds community. They start knowing who you are. Like they start posting the products, like all this type of like crazy stuff. And you're like,
wild.
wow, like it's actually wild.
It's wild.
How big is the community right now on Facebook?
65,000 women.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow. And like, is
That's not
the,
an email list. That's a Facebook.
I'm actually curious because like I know Facebook's changed a lot. Like when you post on there, do people like see it? Like, is there a lot of engagement on there?
So it's not a Facebook fan page, right? It's a Facebook
group.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So we've kept it extremely organic. We don't do like sales and stuff too much in there. We also have a group of 8 admins and moderators.
Oh damn.
We don't pay them. They just work for free product.
Oh shit.
So there's a lot of like just posting, organic posting, just a lot of like.
What do they post though? Just like, here's my thing of Obvi. Like,
it's not here's my thing. It's like, yeah, you can eat, drink, or bake with collagen. So there's a lot of recipes.
I like that recipe.
But there's also a lot of like sharing of results. Like, wow, here's my hair. I just grew some new baby hairs.
Oh,
or wow, like I haven't gone to a manicure in like, I haven't had to re-get my manicure like for many weeks. And then there are people like, damn, I just took the fat burner and I got a headache. Okay. We don't delete that stuff.
Yeah.
Because 20 other people will come in on there and be like, oh no, that means you haven't drank enough water. Or, oh, did you take this before you ate? So negative feedback fuels positive reaction.
Jeez.
Which is like really powerful. So when we see a negative post get posted, we take our popcorn out and we're like, let's watch this. So if we actually love the negative posts in there, and you'll see like thousands of women just fire up.
That's insane.
That's awesome.
Like, first of all, women is like the best thing to be selling to online.
That is one thing I will 100% agree.
Right? Like they spend the money.
Forever, I'm going to be selling, I'm going to have women brands.
Yeah.
It's just so powerful. And it's not even because they're easy to sell to. It's because they actually care to react about the product. Right? Think about the last time we reacted on anything as as men. Like we won't even like even our favorite clothing brands will be like, yo, it's dope, right? And that's it. Like,
it's dope.
Like, and you'll tell it to your friend, and that's it. You know,
like,
when have you ever left a review? Like you just won't, and it sucks because there's like insane men skincare companies. There's like insane men clothing companies that don't get the validation or UGC they deserve.
That's nuts. Yeah, that's genius. I like the Facebook group. Like that's
Yeah.
people can still do that to this day.
Till this day.
100%. Actually, how do you incentivize people to like get into the group though? Because like I knew there used to be a hack that if you liked a Facebook page, you can invite them.
everyone. Yeah,
it doesn't work anymore.
Doesn't work.
Right?
It didn't even work when we did it.
Oh, it didn't work when you do it. For us, it used to work a lot. So I used to run ads for likes. I used to get like have a meme and like run like a basic ad, like $10
and
for
just
good
invite
OD
everyone.
likes and just invite everyone, and they would
Very
join.
smart. Very smart.
Yeah. But like now it doesn't work. So like, how do you get people in there?
We did it where when we launched our third flavor, cinnamon cereal, we said the only
What are
way.
you doing? Breaking what are you doing?
I'm worried about your collagen, bro.
Give the man some collagen. He needs a promo code.
I work out too much on
That was wild, though. Like, I saw his neck there.
give him $20 off Obvi, please.
Yo, that's a short for sure.
Right. Oh yeah.
Damn.
I'm a crack addict.
He needs collagen.
You crack addict.
All right, go on.
No, it's crazy because when we launched our third flavor, we said the only way you can get it, you join our group.
That's crazy.
Like emails.
Huh?
Like you email market them and say like
We email market them, we SMS, and we say the only way you can get the link
is in the
or
group.
access is in the group.
And people would go.
People will go.
That's
People will join.
stupid.
Until this day, every launch we do, like tomorrow, if you guys are around, tune in to our Facebook community. Me and Ash can go live. We're gonna say we're launching a new flavor, golden milk latte, and we're gonna launch it exclusively on Sunday in the community first. It's where you get the best deals. It's only where you can get access to the link. And then after that, we'll open up to public a week later.
Oh, so you're doing like exclusivity to the max.
Oh, to the max, yeah.
you ever have any like feminists that are like, oh, this is run by like 3 men? Like, what do you know about women's
Like 3
health?
Indian guys from New Jersey. Like, what the hell? Literally.
Yeah, and this movement too. You know? And it's wild, man. Like sometimes like Ash and I will get on there and it's like 55-year-old Caucasian women from the Midwest buying our product, right? And it's like 2 Indian brown men, right, from New Jersey selling product. But I think there's two parts to it that works right here is like, one, we're being super authentic, right? We go on there and we're like, guys, we get it. You're looking at two guys selling women collagen, right? Selling women on the idea of collagen. And that too, we're probably not the same skin color as you, and this and that. But here's what we've done in our past. Here's what we know. Here's why we've studied these ingredients, right? So let's put everything aside. The only thing we care about is the fact that we give you a good product that works. And now 400,000 customers later, I think we're able to at least drop,
flex, right?
Drop a little bit of like
400,000.
to leverage that and be like, hey, listen, like we've affected this many lives. Like, let's put everything else aside and just work on this together. So I think that's really the meaning of community, right? Is working on things together. 100%. Well, you're not really a community otherwise. So that's how we preach it. But dude, like, it is so weird for us to like even sign off our names on like emails sometimes, or like on the About Us page, it's like 3 Indian guys, like it is really odd because you have this like, not imposter syndrome, but some syndrome where you're like, damn, I don't even fit into my own company,
100%.
Yeah. But I think if you go at it like super apparent from the beginning, now like we know like birthdays of some of our community members, like they know when my kid was born, I got gifts sent home to my house. It was like, these people are super close to us now. They call us Ash and Ron, like, they wish us happy birthday. Like, so it just turned into just a deeper
you've
bond.
changed some of their lives, like you said.
Yeah,
growing hair, growing nails, like stuff.
It's a favor, right? Like, literally. I'm doing something, and if it works for you, just give me the respect back.
100%.
And let's spread the word.
Damn, that's crazy.
That's the exchange.
I'm curious too. Like, we're at like 2020-ish. Like, how did you start going?
Yeah.
Because like, how much have you guys done in revenue? I think it's a lot of public stuff. You guys have done like tens of millions.
Yeah. So we did. Our 2020 we did 5.2 million.
Jeez.
And then 2021 we did 19.5 million. And then 2022 we did just under 17 million. We had to slow down because of supply chain. This year we're on track to do about 22, 24 million. Yeah. But yeah, the rise of 2020 was all Ash. Like, that's where like he got plugged in, and we just like, I just have to make sure inventory was there. We started launching more SKUs. We started doing drops. And we just said like, all right, if people are liking this idea, let's run it up. 2021 is when it got really fun. 2021, we did 26 product launches.
There's only 12 months in the year.
Yeah. So we
so you're doing like one every 2
weeks. We had one every 2 weeks. We got it to a point where we almost were like the Supreme of collagen. Like, how Supreme does all these like random drops. Yeah. We were dropping anything. Like, we would drop a flavor, it would sell out. And in some, like, we drop everything at Sunday at midnight. So these women are staying awake Saturday, 11:59 p.m., forming a virtual line. Yeah, on our website, right? To buy collagen. So the only cool part about this is they're staying awake to buy something healthy for themselves.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's
right?
Good. Yeah.
But like it was insane. It was blowing our mind because like we'd drop like on December peppermint mocha. You have thousands of orders. Our best was we had Entenmann's, our collab. We were doing $1,000 a minute.
$1,000 a minute.
Yeah. In revenue. And that's when it was like, okay.
Wait, Entenmann's like like little donuts and everything too, right?
Yeah. So we're the official.
That's kind of ironic, but yeah.
Exactly. We're the official licensee for 3 years with them. So that was really cool to see that come alive too.
Damn, $1,000 a minute.
Yeah.
That must feel good.
It was something that you like, you almost feel like you're in the Matrix at some point because you're like, wait, everything you thought of is actually happening, and you just stop feeling anything because you're just like, oh, what the hell do I feel now, right? Because when what you think the pinnacle actually is there in front of you, you've never thought above that yet, so you're in it, you're just like, oh my god,
holy shit,
shit, and there's no other feeling. You're just empty, bare bone out of that. So it's really cool to see that.
Damn. So what's next for Obvi? Like, what's the up and coming stuff right now you're working on?
Yeah. So we just found out a couple of weeks ago that we're rolling out to Walmart, August 1st to 4,100 stores, for 3 SKUs. So what's next for Obvi is, I think, retail.
100%.
And taking this DTC brand that's done, 40 million plus in revenue now, and try and bring an extra 9-figure somehow from retail.
Damn, that's crazy. Good for you guys.
Let's hope. Let's see.
Yeah,
It's a whole different beast. We're still only 8 people.
How'd you guys do that too? Only 8 people. That's like a small team.
Yeah. So our concept of our team is we don't really like titles and all that. Like we cringe even when someone calls us CEO and all that shit. Like what we look at is like everyone we hire, and there's pros and cons to this, but everyone we hire is a CEO of their own department. Okay. So if we hire someone in finance, you're running finance. That's it.
Don't even ask me.
That's it. If you're a video editor, you're handling production. Like that's it. There is nothing else. If you're a CMO, this brand, this, and customer service too. Like people say, like I have a customer service rep. No, we have a customer service manager rep.
Hey, New Money Talks fam. Sorry for the interruption, but hey, we got to pay the bills somehow. I want to thank and shout out one of our sponsors, Wyndon. Wyndon is a brand new bank, one of the best people out there. If you're using the boring TD Bank, Chase, PNC, Bank of America, you got to stop. Check out Wyndon Bank. They have a bunch of great rewards, credit card points, fully transparent pricing, easy dashboards. Pretty much for the new money guys out there and girls out there, this is the best bank to use. Check out the link in our description. Hit the link, hit them up, tell them New Money Talk sent you. And that's about it, boys. Back to the podcast.
All in one, right? She does customer service.
One
That's
person
it.
does all the customer
One person,
service,
that's
answers
it.
all the tickets,
Everything.
like thousands of tickets.
200 tickets a day.
Good for her.
Yeah.
not even that much.
But
That's not that much, honestly. You guys probably have good product, good service. So
we have a really
Yeah.
good product, good service. So like
that's
we
not that
can-
much. 200, yeah.
Yeah, and our refund rate's under 1%.
Damn.
So it helps to have a good infrastructure. So I think if we had a lot of like kind of leaky holes, then we'd probably have to hire to fill those holes. We kind of patched the holes from the beginning. Now the negatives of this is it's really hard to take on something like retail or to start thinking of like explosive growth past like 20 million.
Past like D2C.
Yeah, because, or even within D2C, like past 20 million, because the amount of capital you need, the inventory, infrastructure, the amount more content you need to spend more on ads, like everything becomes a lot more. And that's when you look around and you're like, who can I give more work to right now? Can't.
Because everyone's like a CEO at that point.
Exactly.
Yeah. Damn.
Exactly.
And that's where you're at right now. You're
That's 100% our growing pain right now.
damn. Got you.
It's very hard to envision. This is one of the next challenges that I'm facing. It's very hard to envision how to break past 20 million, right, in a year, and do it successfully while still holding the infrastructure we've built. You know, like the whole concept of you're your own CEO, this and that. It's gonna be interesting to see.
So what are you doing to overcome that? Like, are you talking to people who've done 100 million?
Yeah. I was like
right?
today I was talking to the founder of Alpha Line, which is a massive supplement brand doing 8 to 10 million a month.
What do you even ask these people though? Like actually,
I think the biggest thing is like, how did you break past doing a 1.5 to 2 million a month to doing 3, 4, 5 million a month, right? Like, what were the main key hires? What were the main things you structurally had to change? Every single person, for the most part, has said that you need to spend top dollar on pivotal people.
and what pivotal people?
So a lot of it is in like ops, operationally, like a really strong CEO. We don't have a CEO. They cost 300, 400K.
They're not cheap.
They're not cheap at all. So going to like athletic greens or vital proteins and getting their CEO, like you have to do
work for that. Yeah.
You have to and you have to make pivotal moves like this. You got to give them 3-4% of your company. So like you have to think about like, that's not something you just get up tomorrow and be like, all right, today I'm going to go do this. It's like, that's like, holy heck, like that can shape your entire dynamic of your company.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot. Vital Proteins is like the blue one, right? Vital
They are.
Proteins.
They sold
They're
to
big time, right?
Well, they sold to Nestle 2 years ago.
Oh wow,
for 1.1 billion.
1.1 billion.
Yeah, they did $250 million in revenue.
I'm curious also too, because like we said, this landscape is not where it was.
Yeah.
D2C. So what are you thinking about, like, I'm sure people have approached you for like acquisitions and all this type of stuff before.
Yeah.
Do you even think about that, or you're just like, let's just get through these next few years and
Yeah,
keep growing this thing?
I think we always think about it. I think it would be foolish not to think about it ever. Like, you should always be thinking about it, because whether or not thinking about acquisition doesn't mean you're giving up on something. I think thinking about acquisition means you're trying to understand where your opportunities are best going to generate the most value, right? So right now we're at a point where like we're working on a couple other brands too, like Power Rangers is coming out, which is a pet brand.
Pets are killer.
Pets are doing really well. So we're theming off of Power Rangers, but Power Rangers. So like,
oh, sick. That's cool.
Yeah. So we're like working on that brand. We have a couple other things that we have in the pipeline. So we're like, okay, cool. Like we can score up brands quickly and do all that stuff. But like, what if we actually gave Obvi what if we gave 30% to Obvi, hypothetically, to a group that could fill in all the holes we don't know? Retail, ops, this and that. Could they turn the other 70% of our company that we would own into triple
A lot
value,
more value.
right?
Yeah.
And like, that's something, if you're not thinking about it in your company, you're being selfish, right?
100%.
So yeah, we're 100% thinking about those things. And if the right opportunity comes, we would do it.
Yeah.
Because what we care about is if Obvi can make more impact, whether or not we leave with hundreds of millions of dollars or tens of millions, it like doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, if something else created more value than us, that means we weren't going to do it ourselves.
That's fair.
Right? So the only negative here is if all in all everything fails, which probably was going to be inevitable because mentally we were there. So I think it's win-win either way.
That's some powerful shit right there. What else, you guys? Do you have something off the top of your tongue you want to?
I feel like I saw you guys in like GNC or like a
Vitamin Shop.
Vitamin Shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in Vitamin Shop the other day and I saw you guys.
Yeah.
I guess one of my questions was like how do you think retail influences your ability to like price your products or
Yeah.
change your prices?
Yeah, retail's tough, man, because it's like retail, it becomes the godfather instantly when you get in, right? Like, we've worked our ass off in D2C. We get into Vitamin Shop beginning of last year, and it's like, hey, we're the new boss in town, okay? We want the price point for your burn product to be $29.99 instead of $34.99. Now, everything we've built around this product just lost $5 margins overnight. We can't say anything.
Can't say anything.
Right? They have 700 stores. They rolled this out nationwide. We're going to do it.
It is what it is.
You're going to do it. So I think it affects the thing where like you don't have too much control. Now, there are people who are really good at retail that would have never allowed that to happen, right? That will hear my comment and be like, that's not true. And I think, to answer your question, dependent on your skill set, you can let retail control you, or you can control retail. Our skill set, we'll go toe to toe with anyone in D2C, but we do not know the last thing about retail. Okay, so we will get eaten up, we'll get chewed up, and we'll get spit out. And it's what happened. It's probably what will happen in Walmart if we don't get a good partner, strategic partner on this. So my answer to that is a little bit biased because we're not skilled there.
Dude, you're transparent as hell with that too.
Yeah, no, I think you have to
about
be.
that, straight up about it, for sure. Damn, that's nuts. Like it's definitely scary. Like we were talking before about the Walmart thing. Like
it's extremely, yeah, dude. We had when we found out. I remember it was like 7 p.m. at night. The buyer, Josh, he emailed us and he's like, "Here's your store count." And I think at that point, everyone was like, "Dude, you're probably getting like 1,000 stores, 1,100 stores." Even our broker who got us the deal was like, "You probably get like 1,300 stores max." They don't typically do bigger rollout. We saw 4,100, and we're just like, and our broker was like, "This is the largest rollout I've seen for your category ever." Right? So we're like, "Holy shit! Like, why us?"
Dude, but they see your D2C. You know? That's why. That's
exactly.
why you guys.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So we had a moment where we were like celebrating, like, damn, hell yeah, like just on the moon. But I'll tell you, it probably lasted, and this is the pros and cons of this, is like that celebration lasted 2 minutes, maybe 2.5 minutes, right? Like a bunch of text messages back and forth. My founder sent it to my fam chat. That few friends, posted about it. That dopamine was 2.5 minutes. And then you go into like, oh my God, what are we going to do here? right? We need money. We need people. We need to, like, your entire company needs to change now in 4 to 5 months, right? So even though you see all these numbers or flashy things or whatever, like, the struggles of scaling is like, it is one of the hardest things I've ever dealt with.
Reality hits you in the
Oh,
face
yeah.
because you're like 4,000 times whatever units they want to buy to you, and like times the price of that unit. You're
Exactly.
like, how the hell am I getting this money?
I'm like, yeah, who's gonna make this?
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
get the money for this.
Even your manufacturer probably like, yo, what the
Yeah,
hell's
dude,
going
I have
on?
to get multiple manufacturers,
Yeah.
right? So it's like, obviously I can just walk away and be like, I don't want to do it.
But you're not.
Well, you're not gonna do that. So now you know that you have to do this. And so now your only thing is how. And that how question becomes so much harder to answer the bigger you get. It's not like how to do this becomes easier. How to do this becomes harder.
Like more money, more problems.
It is.
Bring on the
I
problems,
think
I
it is.
guess. Yeah, bring on the problems.
Yeah, exactly. As Drake would say.
As Jake would say. I want to pivot one more piece to this about your personal brand, because like I think you've built that out pretty heavily in the last like few years, and like I'm sure it's been helpful. You know what I mean? Like you met a whole bunch of people. Like we met through that too. You know what I mean?
We did.
Was that like intentional? Were you thinking through that, or like was it just like you like Twitter type of thing?
No, Twitter was separate. I think it's a funny story there, but I think personal brand wise, it was never about personal brand. What it was about was when we started Obvi. When I would look up and look around me and ask some other people in the industry, like, yo, what are you doing? What do you recommend? What manufacturer should I work with? Best 3PL? Everyone was zip tied.
Like,
Their mouths were shut.
Yeah.
Or they wouldn't tell you nothing.
Their mouths were shut. And I
Damn.
think it's because in 2018, 2019, we were still on the fringe where everything was a gold mine and people were very selfish when making sure that secrets weren't revealed. Okay?
Because their ads were still ripping.
Exactly. Everything was
Yeah,
ripping,
yeah,
dude. Like
yeah,
if you had a good manufacturer, you didn't want anyone to find out.
100%.
Right? That's why proprietary blends and supplements were there still, right? You didn't want anyone to know a good formula.
Interesting. That's
Right?
why. Yeah.
2019, 2020, things started shaping up to be changing. And it was like people were opening up more and people were starting to share more because struggles were starting to come. 2021 and pandemic, this and that, everyone was open book because nobody was winning 10 times more than others.
Yeah.
They're winning a couple times more and they said, you know what? Our income seems closer. Let's talk.
Let's talk.
Right? People started sharing 3PLs, what they're using. Now, it's like if you don't share, you look like a fool. Okay? So in 2019, what I went through with having to figure everything out on my own, my thing was I'm going to build Obvi in public. I'm going to put everything out there because even if it helps one person, right? Because I wish I was that one person who got helped by others.
Yeah.
But if it helps one person to take one right step or get connected to one right thing, then that's more help than I got.
100%.
So I started sharing a lot on LinkedIn. Then it was last year, I joined Twitter like probably 9 months ago.
Really?
Less than a year ago. Definitely less than a year ago.
I didn't know that.
But it was Ash who had texted me and he's like, dude, like he joined Twitter and he was blowing up.
This thing called Threads.
Yeah. He was like,
Yeah.
dude, he's like, I'm blowing, like he was at 10, 11K followers in like literally 6 months. And I'm like, dude, you're crazy. And then he'd just be like, just come here, write one thread. I'll retweet it. I promise you, please just join Twitter. And I joined Twitter. I ran my first thread about how we did 10K to, at that point it was like 30 million. And got 1,100 followers on the first day.
Jeez.
And people started loving because no one was doing finance content. So I just stuck to it. And now it's been good growth.
100%.
But the goal is still the same. I just want to openly share what we're doing and what's working, what's not working.
For sure. Because you learn from that. People reach out to you. Like the connections help you grow the brand. Because like at the end of the day, Obvi is the thing.
Right.
You want to keep growing. So how do you keep growing? You have to meet higher level people.
You have to.
Who's the 9-figure brand? Who's in Walmart? Who's in Target? Who's in BJ's, Costco, etc.
That's exactly
what the hell they doing.
Right.
Yeah.
It's help where I feel like I can tap on anyone's shoulder and they'll at least kind of turn around and be like, yo, what's up? Not like a full cold ignore, right? Now, like if someone doesn't respond, and again, the most humble format, I'll be like, really? What the hell? Like, bro, like, come on, like, let's just talk. I just want to talk to you. So it helped bridge the gap between like those people to like, now I can at least go and tap on them. And I've been able to learn more. Mentor Pass has been really cool because I've been able to, you know, give back a lot of time. But what Mentor Pass people don't get to talk about that much is how much I get to learn too. Like there are people who come in and they're like, I'm stuck at this point, but the way they got to their point is so much different than the way I got to my point. And you're like, wait, that's so dope. You know? So like, I'm blessed to be paid to get learning 100%. That, but like, so I think it's been really cool to build personal brand, but I think sometimes it's so easy to build it if your like true thing of giving back is just like, I just want to help someone else. It turns into a lot of opportunities, I think.
100%. Yeah, no, it's good. Dude, like the personal brand's very helpful. You know what I mean?
It is.
Opens up the whole world to you. You know, like you just tap on someone's shoulder, hop in the DMs and have a whole conversation.
Yeah. And I think I have a really soft spot for SaaS brands and SaaS companies. Like I think we all like kind of take for granted is there are people who have made tools to make our life so damn easy. Okay. Like you want to run email marketing, go to Klaviyo, right? You want to run SMS, you go to PostScript or Attentive, this and that, right? You want to build an easy website, you go to Shopify, right? Like we talk about these things, they roll off our tongues because someone built these things to make it so easy to the point where we can hire an intern and probably trust they can figure it out, right? There was a time when none of this was possible. So like these companies that are out there building these tools, slaving away, getting engineers, dealing with all the raising tons of money to almost make nothing. I think it's important to like really understand why they're doing what they're doing, because you truly have to care to build an ecosystem and care to help people to be in SaaS, right? Because it's grunt work. You don't see a valuation till like many, many years until you exit. You have tons of people to hire.
No cash flow.
Yeah. You're constantly raising. You're stressed. And then when you do get to enjoy, it's like you're just burnt. So people building these things, you look at those founders, right? You look at like Gina from Retection and Stay AI, or you look at like Alex Beller from PostScript. Like these people are like, they've really, really slaved into building this, right? So I have a really soft spot for them. So for them, like tools I use for Obvi, I don't care if people say like, oh, dude, you're just saying this, you get paid for it. Like if I get paid, great. Like I should be because I use the tool and I'm giving them, you know, good value.
Yeah, 100%.
If I didn't get paid though, my message or my frequency of talking about them would not change. That's the difference.
Well, because you use all these things, so it's like
exactly.
On a day-to-day basis, you know what I mean?
I never have, and I never will talk about something I don't use. That's my only principle. Now, whether or not I get paid or this or that, that's my business, right? Like that is if someone thinks I'm bringing them value and they want to give me a piece of that value, sure, why not, right? It's similar to me hiring an advisor at Obvi. If they're going to bring me value, I'm going to pay them.
100%.
Right? Why does that have to change if you know, the dynamic shifts? So, but truly believe in the ecosystem.
It's a good ecosystem.
It is.
And hopefully it keeps building. We're in a weird spot right now with like Shopify stock and this and that.
Wild,
it's like wild right now.
Wild.
It is a little scary, but like we'll get back to like the 2016s of the world.
We will. What goes down has to come up.
It's a whole cycle. You would hope.
Yeah.
No, man, but this was awesome. This was like value packed on this one.
You guys hit it with it. I mean, probably one of the few ones that I got to like really go deep back into.
You've done a few of these, right?
I've done a few like podcast wise.
Podcasts.
Oh yeah,
well, you have your own obviously, but like
I've done a few of these. I think, but I don't. People typically just talk about like obvious growth, not so much like how we got to Obvi, which I got to spend. This is probably only time I've actually
like you,
dude. Because we're always interested in like the origin story, right? Because even us, like our story was like I went to college. I had a roommate who did e-commerce.
Yeah,
it's called. You ever hear the burrito blanket? It was a blanket the size of a tortilla. That was my roommate in college.
No way.
Yeah. And like I used to bother him and be like, yo, how the hell are you doing this? Like, how are you getting random people to buy your garbage? And he would never tell me. I just like kept bothering him, asking questions, kind of like you, just asking questions. And I learned. I came back my first like summer semester. I told all my buddies back at home, I'm like, hey guys, there's a thing called like Shopify. There's a thing called Facebook ads. You buy an ad for $5, you make $10 on the back end. It's like that easy.
Isn't that cool, man?
And then out of everyone, he didn't believe me.
And now he's a marketer.
He was like, it's bullshit. He went back to school. I come back the next semester, and he's like, I just dropped out of college. I'm doing $100K a month right now.
No
and
way.
like, look at this story. I'd never done that much like in a month before, and I was like, what the hell? Like he was selling like some jewelry brand or whatever. I was like, yo, what's going on?
That's crazy.
But these are the stories that we want to hear, right?
Yeah, man.
Because this is the stuff that like people get inspired by.
It's because you may be sitting in like your dorm room and you're like just thinking about like, damn, like what am I doing or what am I gonna do? And
or even
like,
you're at Ernst & Young, you're at like Deloitte, whatever the hell it is.
Wherever
like,
you are, you're always thinking about what to do next. Like I listen to podcasts and I'm like, damn, they exited and did this, this, and this, or they didn't exit and they hired a new CEO and did this, this, and this. Like you think about all these things, so you're always trying to do something different.
Dude, it's always like, and then you start piecing the different podcasts once you have the different guys.
Yeah,
it's
like,
crazy.
I've never even said this like on the podcast before, but for example, like Moise Ali, I met this guy my sophomore year in college. He spoke in my class.
Wow.
And like he had no idea. It was just like, I think he like had just sold like native type of thing.
Yeah.
It was like random panel, 4 people. It was him and Wei Guo, one of his investors.
No.
An Asian guy, one of his investors. He invested like the first like check in there.
Okay.
He tells a whole story about it, blah, blah, blah. Then what was that like? When was your last event with the Parker event you did?
A couple months ago.
A couple months ago, you ran like the thing at Parker.
Oh, like the launch?
The launch, event.
Yep.
I go to that event.
Yep.
Moise Ali's there.
Yep.
I had never met the guy in person. I walked up to the guy, I was like, yo, I met you in my class like 5 years ago type of thing. And he's like, he looks at me, he's like, yo, yeah? I was like, Wei Guo, UC Berkeley. And he was like, that's crazy. Like we had a whole conversation.
Dude, that shit gives you chills.
That gives you him chills, me chills. I was
That's
like,
crazy.
Like it was kind of nuts, but that's the whole community, right?
Yeah.
That's like the whole world of this whole e-commerce ecosystem.
That's it.
It's like,
That's it.
how did I end up at like a Parker launch event like that you ran, that he was there, like all these, you know what I mean? It's like, it's a big thing.
It's crazy. It's like I actually spoke at Rider University. So I go to Rider University. So my first class, I was supposed to be, I was going to be like a science guy. Like I was going to be a doctor and stuff. My first class in high school was a bit intro to business class that I took. And I was taking it as an elective. As a teacher there, Miss Deck was her name. And I loved her. She was an amazing teacher. I loved business. I fell in love. She ended up becoming a professor at Rider University now. Okay. So last year she hit me up and she said, I've loved your success, growth story. And we're like,
take your
friends.
collagen.
Take your collagen. She was like, and I'm teaching an intro to business class at Rider. And she's like, I'd love for you to come and do a guest lecture. So I went 3 months ago. I did my first guest lecture there. I went back last Friday and I did my second one. And in that class came a student from the first time I did the guest lecture, which was the first semester. And he said, I decided to actually stick with business because I love Miss Deck as a teacher, but I also loved your speech on how you built Obvi, and I want to do something like that. And I was like, that's crazy because this literally came full circle. Yeah. Like I listened to this teacher who got me into this, who then brought me back, who got somebody else into this.
100%.
And I'm hoping that has to keep flowing now.
And you feel that, like
so you felt that.
You felt
like,
that.
That was it. Now, like none of the other stuff matters. That's it.
$1,000 man don't matter. Yeah. You feel that one? That one matters too. Anyways, dude. Yeah. I want to shout out the podcast too. That your podcast is.
Yeah. I mean, we're competitors. You sure?
Nah, it doesn't matter.
Chew on this DTC.
We'll share subscribers on this one.
Check out the podcast. Chew on this DTC. We're on episode 8. Drops tomorrow, and we're just what our concept was. There's too many podcasts. We wanted to do a pod class where you're listening to the pod, but part of it is learning. So we're super tactical, but you can also listen and enjoy. And then also the reason it's called Chew on This, it's digestible content because every episode's under 40 minutes.
Oh, nice.
Instead of it being like an hour long.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit about the podcast.
Not bad little competition over there. We're going together.
The frame that you're seeing around this video is inspired by you.
Yo, New Money Talks fam, sorry for the interruption. Just wanted to shout out our sponsor, Mars Agency. They have managed over $100 million in paid ad spend and generated over $200 million for over 50 different companies that they've worked with, both e-commerce and non-e-commerce. They handle everything regarding paid advertising, digital content creation, SEO, and everything that encompasses brand or company growth. So if you run a company that can sell anything online, I highly recommend that you check out the link in our description, say that New Money Talk sent you, and they'll take care of the rest. Now back to the podcast.
I love it.
Oh man. And where can people find you and stuff like that?
Yeah.
If you want even them to fucking find you at this point, mentor pass.
No, LinkedIn's cool. Just look up Ron Shah or Obvi CEO on Twitter.
100%.
Cool. We'll have it linked in the description.
We'll have a link in the description.
That's dope.
And we need we want a promo code too for Obvi right
For
now.
Yeah,
Obvi.
man.
Like a
Let's-
20% off discount.
For like our 2% female
Someone's
followers.
gonna buy it.
Someone's gotta buy it. We'll do like 30% off for New Money.
There we go.
Discount
New
solid.
money. Yeah, we'll figure it out. 100%.
Yeah. No, there was one thing that you were mentioning before that I wanted to bring up about how you like listen to podcasts, you hear all these different people's journeys. And I just went snowboarding with a friend of mine and we were listening to a Tom Bilyeu podcast, if
Okay.
you're familiar with him.
Yeah.
And he was saying that like it's crazy that like he came to the realization that like you can do anything you want, but you can't do everything.
Yes.
And so you listen to everyone's experience and like how their upbringings and like what they did for their businesses. And you're like, oh shit, I can do that. But then you're like, but I'm currently doing something different.
Yes.
And it's like, I could go any route that I want and everyone gets to a specific place.
Yep.
Like so many people get to the same outcome,
Right.
but they get there so many different ways. And you're like, I can do anything, but I can't do everything. And that's
Yes.
like a crazy realization.
I love that realization. It was actually, we get a lot of times people ask us like, you ever gonna sell to men? Right? You ever create like a blue line?
That's true,
Because collagen is for men too. And we said, we learned a really cool lesson back at Shreds. It was, if you try to sell to everyone, you won't sell to anyone. So pick your demographic and double down on the demographic. So we said it's going to be for women. It's pink. It's this. The collagen is fully unisex. You can drink it. You can have it. You can have it. I have it. But we said it's for women. And if you try to sell to everyone, you won't sell to anyone. So same concept, and I believe in that.
Clip that one. That was like fire clip.
Yeah, solid.
Yeah. Oh man, that was good.
Yeah,
awesome, guys.
I wanted to ask one more question.
Yeah.
For those who are listening who might be landing in a similar or finding them in a similar position, you recently, I don't know how recently you became a father.
Yeah.
Talk to me about how that's been and how it's influenced or impacted maybe your schedule or like your drive for the business to be successful. Like what changed with that?
Yeah, it's a really good question, man. So yeah, 8 months ago became a father, and I think there's two things that were really, really like impactful. One was leading up to having the baby, you're trying to get into the best mindset and preparation mode, right? Like it is more prep than I've done in all the Black Fridays combined in my life. It's more,
That's a lot.
it's like, it's more prep than like anything you're getting ready for in your life, a marathon, because it's like your life's about to change. So I felt like everything I tried to like prep, like I'm going to be mentally ready, physically ready, all these things, right? I felt like I was literally in like a combat race, like just prepping for this. So it was really cool because I feel like I was completely able to change my mindset when I found out I'm going to have a kid, which was really cool. And so I think that part impacted me because I realized like I have time to do more. I just needed to make it. I just need to make time to like prepare. So that was cool. And then I think the second thing is now that he's been here, you realize there's a lot of like stuff that you do in your life that is so nonsensical and like such a waste of time. And until like somebody forces you to where you have to choose yourself to not do it anymore, you become so intentional with your time. So now everything I do, it sounds transactional, but it's not. But everything has to have intentional purpose for me to grow. Like there is literally, like I still do a lot of things for fun, this and that, but like if it's not helping me grow, I just don't want to do it, because it's not going to help me create a future for him. It's not going to help me get better at what I do, and it's not going to help me grow bigger than what I've done. So like now it's like, dude, like even like with you guys, like, hey, I want to record this podcast because like there's part of it is want to have your company, but the second part is like audience growth,
100%.
exposure, all of that. Cool. This is going to be good. It's valuable. And I don't know if it's good or bad to think that way, right? I'll probably know 10 years from now when I'm reflecting. But right now, that's what it's made me do, is become super intentional.
Stuff's a lot more. It's not a project anymore. This is like real life.
It's real life.
It's life as hell.
Real life.
Yeah. Like
real life.
A lot of guys think e-commerce is just like, oh, Shopify, ding, ding. But this is like life. You know what I mean? It's like,
it's life now. Yeah. And then like, I think it helped me level up a lot more. Like I had to get a house. I need more space for him. I have to make more money.
Fire ass house.
Seven extra bedrooms.
It was like, it just makes you do, like I was talking to my financial planner, and he was like, you need to start saving for his college. And the way inflation's going now, college by then is going to be about 100 to 120K a year.
Jeez.
Right?
A year.
Right. So you're like, so you probably want to start thinking about saving about $500,000 just for undergrad tuition. Right. You start thinking about these things right now, whether or not I do it, I could care less if he goes to college. I don't believe in college. Right. Yeah. But whether or not he goes or not, you have to think about it and like, holy shit, I got to like think about this.
I got 18 years to put
I got
$500,000
18
away.
years to put $500,000 away.
Yeah.
Those are things that like those are real things now. Those aren't like, yo, I have a goal to save a Lambo. You know, this is like, dude, I gotta give him an education.
Screw the Lambo.
It becomes different. So you just appreciate your time so much more.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to wrap this bad boy
Yeah,
up. This
yeah.
was
That was
fire,
awesome.
though.
No, this is awesome, man.
I hope you enjoy this as much as we
Great
did.
question.
Yeah,
Great
yeah,
question.
yeah.
It was actually probably the most unique one I've never done.
Yeah.
I'm
So,
flipping that bitch.
No, I appreciate it, man.
All right, man. Thank you so much,
Sweet.
dude.
Thank you,
Yeah.
man.
Appreciate the hospitality.
Appreciate
This was
it, of
good.
course.
On our end, make sure. Actually, this is one thing they do it on My First Million. It's called like the gentleman's. What's it called? Like
Call to
the
action.
gentleman's like contract or something.
Oh,
It's like, look, so we give you a lot of value for free, right?
Yeah.
But we want one thing in
One thing
return.
back.
One thing in return, and that's for you to subscribe and like and comment. That's
I like
it.
that.
That's all you got to do.
Subscribe, like, and comment. Yeah, if you've gotten this far, subscribe, like, and comment. We've gotten up to like almost over 500 subs right now. It's been like 2 months.
Wow.
So like we're moving.
Yeah.
On TikTok, we're up to almost 2,000 followers. IG over 500. All organic. It's kind of sick.
Tell them the impression count.
Yeah. 100K impressions a month right now. Or maybe
Lots.
even over that, honestly, at this point.
More than that.
More
yeah.
than that.
Wow.
We've had some posts
We're
get
on
like
the
a half
come
a
up.
million views type of thing. So
Yeah.
like, yeah, with just us talking. So it's kind of crazy. But please like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. This is fun. So
And these guys are under 24 years old.
100%.
Like that's what's inspirational for me, to see that like young talent is like doing so much more than what 24-year-olds were doing then. That part is just it's amazing. So
Appreciate
kudos
you.
to you
Man.
guys.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
See you in the next one.
See you on the next one. Later.